Gamecast, episode number 143, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Fridays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you, on any podcast services out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today, I am with my one of my awesome co-hosts. I have the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What is up, my dude?
How you doing, my friend? I have been chilling. I got some multiverses in last night. Been playing. I can't get enough of that game. It's a lot of fun. Easy to just pick up and play. Your accounts connect via PC, PlayStation. It doesn't matter. It's all there. I got my Backbone the other day. So I was playing it using remote play. Yeah, I got that new PlayStation one. Yeah. For the phone. It's nice, dude. I like it. So I can see my.
Do you have to use the phone? You have to use your phone to play it with
and
it?
This is specific because it's got a lightning port too. So it's specific for the iPhone. But yeah, so I tested that out a little bit yesterday. That was good. And yeah, other than that though, man, I spoke with earlier in the week. We spoke with Carolyn Malshaw, who is the CEO and creative director for Interior Night. They did As Dusk Falls. So that was a great conversation, and I got to throw all my praise on her and just them and what they did narratively and cooperatively, and how the multiplayer experience within a narrative game. It was a lot of fun to really kind of get a behind the scenes look at how they came about this and developed it and stuff like that. So that's going to be on our next episode. And then, of course, we've got Evo this weekend. I didn't get a chance to get out there today, but I'll be out there tomorrow for sure. And, doing interviews, grabbing video, hanging out and stuff. And then I might go a little bit on. I don't know that I'll go on Sunday, though, just because it's my daughter's birthday. So if anything, I might go for a little bit. But it's going to be celebrating 1 year old already.
Wow, it's crazy. Time flies.
Freaking flies, man. It absolutely flies. So all in all, it's been and then I was on a buddy show of mine, old colleague, this week, this morning as well. So it's been busy, but a good and productive week. What about yourself, my friend?
Oh, well, that's good. Well, a little bit of trick. Here's what I would suggest today. Don't even worry about Evo on Sunday is not worth it for you at all, because it's grand champions. It's like the finals for grand finals for for the final games on that day. So They usually just have it in a giant auditorium, and it's not because you're going to go to Evo tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Evo itself is tomorrow is going to be like a convention center, so it's actually kind of bigger. It's more open, and you can actually talk and see, and do some cool stuff with it over there. But other than that, don't even stress on it. Go, your daughter's birthday will be fun. Will always be there. It'll be fun, or it's always going to be there, so it'll be fun. Especially 1 year, man. That's freaking awesome.
Right, I know, it's crazy, man. It is crazy how quickly that time goes by. So.
Yeah, that's great. And I was just thinking of you fangirling on talking to that girl though, because I'm like, man, because you were really into Dusk Falls when you were playing it. So.
It's a lot of fun. It's a really good game. It's great that it's on Game Pass. They really put a lot of care into making it a game that anybody can pick up and play. Your mom could go play. Any range. It's easy. Mechanically, it's easy. And really, it's about just what they've done creating this world, the voice acting, the music, the art style, even the accessibility options within the game. They've just made a really good game. And this is their first game that they've done as a studio. She has previously worked on Heavy Rain and I'm spacing on the other one. Beyond Souls. Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, that terrible one. Yeah, that terrible one.
Oh,
okay.
I don't know anything about that. Oh,
You should probably, well, I mean, it's definitely up your alley if you like those kind of games, those narrative-driven games that
yeah.
do those weird, the story stuff. Because you played Detroit, right? You played
Oh
Detroit
yeah, dude, I
Become
love that
Human,
game. Yeah.
and have you played Heavy Rain?
I have not played Heavy Rain. No, I think I have it though.
Wow, you haven't touched any other Niantic games? You need to touch those.
No, I know, dude. I played a little bit of Until Dawn, but I didn't even finish that. I'd like to go through all that stuff too.
Okay, so Until Dawn, yeah, that one. The Dark Anthology is another good one too. Yeah, you should definitely check that out, man. Yeah, I think you will not be disappointed whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well, you will be disappointed in certain of them, but still, but it's still something that I think that you definitely enjoyed. I had no idea you enjoyed those kind of games until you started playing
I love them.
Dusk Falls.
Yeah, those are like usually my like guilty pleasure games that I play a lot of times off stream, and I just completely put myself into. But I mean, they're a lot of fun too to play and experience on stream as well. And then when you brought in the fact that Twitch could actually choose what way the story goes, I was like, oh, this is amazing. I didn't even know that was a feature that was in it before I started playing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. They integrated that itself though too. That was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but as for me though, like I've had a pretty crazy week. I was in the hospital for a little bit. Everything's good, but like had some sort of infection, so I had to go get that taken care of, and because of that, it pretty much left me sidelined for the rest of the week. I've been taking it really really easy, and it's my fault that we weren't even able to release the previous episode of the podcast that we normally like to do at the beginning of the week. So we're gonna this week we're gonna bring the last one and this one up at the same time, so you get two episodes for 1 week. So there,
That
yeah,
double
so there
dip.
you go.
That double dip.
Double dip, get the double dip.
Yeah.
But you know what's gonna suck though, that it's really gonna, I like, the thing that's gonna get me is that it's really gonna hit our numbers quite a bit, because these are both August episodes, and I'm like, man, this is gonna be terrible at the end of the month, but we'll see. But we'll definitely see. Yeah, so but it's all good though. Like, I mean, I need to make sure, like, gotta be healthy to be doing this, so that's really the most important thing. Yeah, so I played a little bit of Multiversus, trying to get enough so I can say that I got I completed the battle pass, and just say that I did it. So close to it, just need to suck it up and just do it. Probably do it tomorrow, I don't know, but other than that, I didn't really play anything this week that much this week either. I'm was wanting to finish off my Final Fantasy playthrough, but wasn't able to, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. What is up, Snake Eyes? How you doing? But anyways, let's get down to the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games through the previous week. The topic would or could be a game itself, or something that happened in the gaming industry, and we don't want to talk about this amongst ourselves. We want you, the viewers and listeners, on twitch.tv/CFG Games to be a part of the conversation. So if you do want to be a part of the conversation, by all means, just type inside the chat. We would love to discuss it with you. So we are one person short, unfortunately, but we got me and Smitty to take the helm on this. So we'll start with Smitty's topic first. What are you bringing to the table, my dear?
Yeah, big news in streamerland. A few days ago, OBS has announced that they have put into beta OBS Studio 28.0, and I've got to say, this is going to be a huge one for them. I feel like this is probably one of the biggest ones that I've personally seen with OBS. But the big thing of this right out the gate is that they are going to be introducing 10-bit and HDR video encoding support, which is absolutely freaking huge. So I just want to get into the meat of this real quick. So it'll have HDR and 10-bit, can only be encoded with AV1 and HEVC encoders. Recommended settings for HDR, color format P010 and color space Rec 2100 PQ. If you don't know what that stuff means, you're gonna have to go into your
No one knows.
You're gonna have to go into your settings a little bit in OBS to be able to dial that in. Essentially, it's just different color profiles that then support that HDR. So you're gonna be able to get that vibrance and just different tones and different tone mapping with that HDR, that 10-bit. Also, when composing an SDR, games that operate in HDR can now be properly tone mapped to SDR. So you won't have weird colors if you have an HDR source and you're bringing it in, which I know has been a problem. People had to use like plugins and things of that nature in order to get the things dialed in correctly. So that's really nice. The big thing here with if you're going to make these changes, remember there are going to be a bunch of plugins that no longer work. So you're probably going to have to go in and blow some stuff out. It says certain filters will not function if a source is rendering with HDR. Examples: apply LUT, so all your LUTs gone, chroma key gone, color key gone, image mask gone, luma key gone, sharpness gone. They're gone.
What?
Yeah.
What? Why?
So
why would they do all of that? Like, why would they remove all this nonsense?
I think it's just so essentially that stuff is going to have to be updated to this newer format to be able to accept and work with these newer formats. I think it's what the issue is. So it's not that they're necessarily going away. It's just that they can't handle that HDR codec or whatever it's however it's encoded. So they're going to have to update some of those LUTs or some of those filters to be able to work within that stuff.
The chroma key can't do it.
I know. But don't worry. There's something in here that addresses that too. And then Mac Linux support is limited. HDR preview does not work, and several inputs encoders still need to be updated. So if you're on Mac or Linux, do not do it. It is not ready. I repeat, it is not ready. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't really get into this Qt6 or version 5 of Qt users and that toolkit stuff. I kind of skipped over that. Another big one was this native Apple Silicon support. If you've ever tried running OBS on Apple on a Mac, it is a pain. It is brutal. That is the reason why I ended up getting a PC, because I had only had Macs. Really? Yes. And I tried.
That was the reason?
That was the main reason why I ended up getting a PC. Yeah, and that because I didn't feel like side loading in like any kind of virtual machines or anything like that. And what I had wasn't powerful enough to begin with. But that was like a big deciding factor. I was like, dude, I can't use OBS in Apple. I was like, this is so convoluted and excuse me, and ridiculous. So that's gonna be huge. This means that OBS will run more optimally and without x86 emulation. Unfortunately, it says an important caveat is that for this is that many third-party plugins may not yet be readily available for Apple users running native Apple Silicon builds. So this is going to be
definite. That's a freaking understatement. Yeah. I mean, you think of course, the third parties aren't going to work on an Apple. It's going to be like that for the rest of its freaking career,
unless they update the plugins to be able to do it, because that's what it would take, is them updating the plugins. But again, at that point, are they going to go back and retroactively bring some of these plugins up to speed, or is somebody just going to develop something natively that's going to work with it? My guess is that they would just move forward and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's hard to say because the reason why OBS is so good is that it's an open source. To their own opinion, OBS is good because it's open source. So a lot of people can actually switch over to whatever they want. If they're wanting this program to do something specific, someone who has the mind of a programmer will get it done and figure it out and then get it done. But just in that sense, freaking Apple hates that. So I don't know if that's a sense. It's hard to say that I think that Apple themselves are going to say that they would go out of their way to build up. It's more like I think the Apple community in the OBS area will be the ones that'll figure all that out, and then they'll upgrade it whenever they crack the code,
Right.
essentially. So that's why I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah, that is. I mean, for me, especially if you're on Mac, this is a not get right away, because you're gonna end up breaking more than you get by doing this by running that beta. I feel I would wait and let some features come back and let them get things built and whatnot before moving over and making that switch over. The payoff there is not worth it if you're on a Macintosh.
Would you ever go back to a full Mac setup though, like knowing that OBS can work on a Mac, but it won't be as optimized as what you can get on a PC?
I don't even need to, because there's NDI. I can just NDI from my Mac to here and still work off my Mac while being able to run everything through Microsoft. So yeah, I don't ever see. I have it on my Mac laptop, but that's really only to get like screen captures or something if I'm doing like a commercial or something like that, and I need like a web page or something like that is what I'll use it for. But actually running streams from it, nah, son. I will forever. I was scarred. There's some more though. I want to get into some of these some of the new features and additions. They are going to be adding a new, more optimal and up-to-date implementation of the AMD encoder on Windows. Added support for the screen capture kit framework on Mac OS, blah, 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 including support for direct audio capture without requiring third-party solutions on Mac OS 13 Plus. That is absolutely huge. I was complaining about that earlier, that I had to download something completely different just to be able to capture audio from itself. It's so dumb.
It is very weird.
It's so weird. Go ahead.
So that's going to be a thing. Wait. You're telling me, so essentially you don't have to use, like if you're using a capture card, you don't have to use their program specifically to capture the audio from that. OBS is going to be the one that's going to be using the audio and pushing the audio out from the program itself.
No, so you can't even get an audio signal from the computer in OBS currently. It doesn't recognize the Apple audio as a source in OBS.
At all? Wow, okay.
You have to get a third-party software, run your Apple audio through the third-party software, and then bring that third-party software into OBS. That's how you get audio into it. It is so dumb. Yeah.
That's so weird.
It's so weird. So that's being added. So that's huge. Added support for CBR, CRF, and simple mode to Apple VT encoder on Silicon. I don't know what that means. This is huge. Added application audio capture on Windows to allow capturing the audio output from a single process. What this means is individual audio sources for our default Windows, whatever's running in Windows and whatnot, we can pull in as an audio source, almost defeating the purpose of having voice meter. It'll kind of, not defeating the purpose, but it kind of eliminates and makes voice meter kind of, I mean, there's still advantages to it, but you don't necessarily need that in order to break out your audio. You will be able to natively in OBS have your audio separated and broken out per what you have running. That is huge.
Now, per scene, or are we talking about because like that's the one thing I really didn't understood with OBS Studio is like, why would you have a settings that gives you multiple different ports for mic and your audio outputs, but when you put it like that permanently, it's like that for everything. Like you can't separate it by the scene itself, or but rather you would have to go in each scene and set it to whatever you're wanting the scenes to pull the audio, to get the audio from.
Well, and that's an interesting, I think that's really an interesting question, because don't know that I'm guessing if you have it, because like that's how I have my audio. I have my audio as a full ass scene, and then I nest that scene into other scenes, say like this one, being interview scene or something like that. So any change I may make to that scene is going to go across the board. However, per scene, or in the scenes, I can also add it in or have it just added in as a source, an individual source. Right now, I don't think there's any kind of like key markers that you could say, when I'm on this scene, bring the audio level down to -3 or something like that, -3
Yeah,
or
you
whatever.
can't. There
Yeah,
isn't.
like if you could do keyframes or something like that kind of correlated with the scenes that you were based on, I think would be huge. But I think in order to accomplish that, you would have to have them in each scene as an individual source.
Yeah, because that's how I have them right now. It's like I have them as a, because I don't use the universal settings in it at all because of that reason. Because like there's certain I have these specific octaves set for specific levels that I know is going to be good in each of those scenes. So I just took my time and just made them individually. Now, if they make it easier, that might be a debate. Now, but for me, like the thing that really keeps me truly with Voice Meter is their virtual audio cables.
Right.
Those virtual audio cables make even though like they're just they're virtual, the sound is crisper on that thing on it, and I just don't know, like if it I guess I have to take a look and mess around with it to see what to expect on this one. But maybe I'll mess around with the other on the other computer. But still, it's like, wow, that is a cool concept. I do like the idea of it.
Yeah, but wait, it gets better. They're adding support for NVIDIA RTX background removal on Windows, which means you don't have to run it. You won't have to run it through NVIDIA. You can run it natively through OBS. That's my understanding of it.
Jesus, man, they were doing integration with that, integration with RTX stuff.
Right. Yeah. Well, so it's not even only that. So it says requires RTX Video Effects SDK runtime to be installed. Yeah. And then they've also added room echo removal to RTX noise suppression filter on Windows. So again, natively in OBS, you will be able to bring in the RTX noise suppression filter and apply it to your microphone. Again, other than the virtual cables, it's like, dude, this is starting to hit some of them points as to why I even had, Voice Meter. Now they're making it like we've been waiting for this stuff to be native in OBS. This is huge. They're adding OBS WebSocket 5.0 as a first-party plugin. Again, I use WebSocket, the WebSocket plugin, just so it can talk to other things such as LineRAN board and things of that nature. Excuse me. So that being, again, another native feature within it is fantastic. They're adding a new default theme, Yami. I believe it's just like a different type of dark mode. It looks a little cleaner.
Jesus, how much stuff are they adding?
Dude, it's meaty. It is meaty, dude. Added the ability to automatically split recordings based on file size or duration, or manually via hotkey. Again, those that are using this for recording purposes as well, that's huge, being able to make those kinds of splits, or manually doing it, or just giving us a little more control over how we're working with our files when we're creating content. So that is always good to see. Added accessibility section to the settings window, providing the ability to change colors of certain UI elements with presets or customs. So that's a huge, especially for those that rely. Yeah, exactly. That rely on these accessibility options. Anytime you could beef up the accessibility means that it's gonna, again, this is gonna allow more people to be able to get their hands on this and try it out and use it. So that's fantastic. Added file integrity check. Oh, go ahead.
My one thing I've always wondered was, why have they never allowed you to change the colors of the font colors on the scene side,
right?
So you don't, so you could say like, oh, you could color code or you can color restrict, because some of these people have like hundreds of different kinds of scenes, and then just be able to just blank, like, bam, right there. It's like, okay, I'm in this chapter or this section and stuff. But yeah, if they ever do that, that one's from me. So let's go with that.
All right. Added native SRT, RSIT outputs, which I've seen. I'm not 100%. I can't remember exactly what SRT is. But I've definitely seen it I've seen it used in other mediums in like bigger productions and stuff like that. I just can't think off the top of my head what exactly it is. Added support for sending chat messages to YouTube from within OBS. So no longer having to have a separate window. That's huge for those that are streaming on YouTube. Added file integrity check option on Windows to validate and repair the current OBS installation. Added improved Mac OS permissions flow on startup, and the video capture device source on Windows will now save and remember settings change into configure dialog. And then there's a ton more tweaks added: copy paste, visibility transition. I'll let you guys get into that stuff, or I'll drop the thing
the link
in chat.
here.
Yeah. But
That's
this is
crazy.
huge, man. This is a meaty update from OBS. It is currently in beta right now. You can go to the GitHub and download it if you want to try it. But again, make sure that you read and see and don't do it on a day where you're gonna have to do streaming anytime soon. So you have time to unbreak it in case you break it. But yeah, dude, this is huge.
I'm definitely not going to touch this until it's out of beta, but like for the most part, but no, but it definitely is. Well, I'll take it back. On the other computer that I don't use, I'll mess around with it. But this computer though, no, looks. I mean, it's a little bit too good to be true. And until I get my my new video card, then that's when I really want to mess around with it. So like I'm just gonna wait for it in the meantime though. But dang, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even get into the fixes and tweaks because there's a whole nother list of bug fixes and just straight little tweaks to things that they've done as well. So there is a ton. That's the link right there if you want to check out all the features and everything that's in there. Just use that link. But good on them. I mean, again, and not only that, but this is also OBS's 10-year anniversary as well. So. Yeah, wow. I know. So for them, I think it's only right that they come out with a big juicy update like this to really kick it. I just love the fact that what they do and the fact that they make this accessible to any and everybody. Again, it may not be the most user friendly, but you dig in. I mean, you got plenty of YouTube videos and people that have put on tutorials and stuff like that you can figure out how to use this thing, because it is a very, very powerful tool.
The community is a very good community though. So like like people are very open on it. So yeah, definitely. There is a definite learning curve for the most part. I mean, just like as other like as well as like any other thing. But yeah, no, I totally understand. I definitely understand that.
I'll say, dude, like if you can run OBS, you could be a technical director in TV news. There is not really much difference, dude. There really is not. Yeah, no, it's all the same. It all translates back and forth. That's why hopping on OBS for me is like, oh yeah, this is literally just a digital switcher that I'm pushing the thing out of. But it works the same, getting your sources in, building out your scenes, all that stuff. It just has a different UI. Same thing though.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's really cool. Wow. Well, we'll see how that is. I want to see if this version of OBS is going to set Smitty's computer finally on fire.
This is going to be the one. This is going to be the one that makes it blow
computer, up. Yeah, was it your other computer that actually did catch fire?
I have never had a computer catch fire.
Never did? No. Okay, was it you?
Someone, it was hilarious.
One of my friends, their computers caught fire, and I was like, "How the hell did that happen?"
Oh my goodness!
And, and I was like, "Okay, you need to stop."
Yeah,
I was like, "Stop what? You know what you need." It's like, "Stop everything." You just this is not for you at all whatsoever.
I think that was your sign that streaming is not for you, my friend.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jesus. Oh, but all right, yeah, all right. So my topic, and this is gonna be a nice topic for Snake Eyes if he's still here. like I want to talk about a nice, highly anticipated game in the Star Wars universe that everyone is hoping to get their hands on. It is going to be the highly anticipated Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game that's being remade. Was supposed to be an exclusive for PlayStation 5, probably timed exclusive, because there's no way that I think that it was made specifically for them. But there is some bad news along the way, apparently. And I got this information from Bloomberg writer Jason Schreier, that there are some issues going on with the production of this game from Aspirin Media, which is the company that's in charge of making the game itself. So earlier this week, they announced that this game has been indefinitely delayed. And now this isn't really an issue in my opinion, because in my opinion, they didn't even announce a release date for this game. But I think what they did see, though, from what was seen, was that they were panicking, and then they were doing this because the biggest issue that happened on this is that they lost two of their big directors of this project. They lost the game design director Brad Prince, and then the art director Jason Miner. Then this was immediately after they showed a game demonstration to the creator partners at Sony and at Lucasfilm. So if Sony and Lucasfilm saw what they had, and then they were like, "This is not what we need," and then they scrap their directors from it, then yeah, there is going to be a shake in the tree there for it, because this is a very important game for a lot of people, and I think that like when people say we're going to make a remake of an original classic like this, you got to do it right. You have one chance to do it right for this, because of the old, and then you're also bringing in the new. So they need to treat this to a level of what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, simple as that. For this. So now they're estimating that the release date of this game was going to be pushed back all the way back to 2025.
Dang.
Yeah. So but then what makes matters worse is that there, besides the big releases of their main directors, there was multiple issues with the creative team, as well as frustration from the company themselves, that's Asper Media themselves, that the game wasn't as far as long as they were hoped for. So their estimation, I think they saw it, and I think it was bigger than they could chew. And now they were already behind. So they were not in a good position, to say, for success, in my opinion, on this game. And this is scary. This is scary to be when you're hearing these issues now on with this, what they're planning on doing for this, and what we were expecting, because all we got right now was just like, Darth Revan, walking to you in a video scene, and that's probably what you're showing right now. That's it. We're not showing any gameplay. We're not showing anything else, and it's like, because there isn't anything else at this point. But so I was just thinking, like, or what was your take on this, and how do you take this? Are you?
So I'll be completely transparent. I never played KOTOR. KOTOR?
Yeah, it's KOTOR. Well,
I've heard
KOTOR.
people. I know about it. I've heard people talk about it. I personally have not played it. I don't even know what kind of, other than it being Star Wars, I don't know, like, is it like a slash 'em up? Is it like, I don't know anything about it, but I just know that, or is it an MMORPG?
It's a turn-based RPG. It's an interesting, but the way it works is a little weird. It's not like a traditional turn-based RPG. It's it's its own special like system that only there's only a small full of games that had it. It was KOTOR 1 and 2 and Jade Empire had the same kind of system, and that's it. No other system has it. But it worked very well to do it. So like I would say and most people played Star Wars games have played, like, I mean, most people like put this as one of the top in the top like 30
Yeah,
of all time.
I always hear about it. I have no idea. I've never even seen it played out. But you're right though, and I think you make a good point. And this is where Sony and Asper are, they probably said, "Whoa, pump the brakes. This ain't it. This ain't it. We're gonna." And I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. Instead of trying to force it forward and then pushing out crap, they said, "Nah, son, we're gonna go. We'd like to go in a different direction. Thank you for your time and work that you've put in, but you guys are relieved now." As you were saying before, I don't know that there was ever even a release date for this beforehand. So with that being said, like, it sucks, but it's like at least they're going out and being like, "Yo, temper them expectations. It's not where we want it to be." That's why the only thing you've got is a 1:06 video of a character walking in through smoke. So we're gonna start
a character walking in through smoke. That's what I love. It's like, yeah. Okay, no, just keep on going.
Yes, I don't know his name. What do you want me to do? That one guy.
I'm not. It's just, I love how you simplify things. I just love how you simplify things. You just like, it's like, see, you gotta do with the goat. Like that. That's the kind of
arms.
Yeah, the woman with the arms. I love that. I just love
it. This is a smart move. You don't want to go, especially if this means so much to people. People's expectations of this are already going to be set high. We saw what happened with Square and Final Fantasy VII Remake, and just everything that they put in, and how just how much there is and how big of a difference there was from Final Fantasy VII OG to this remake. This has got to be on that same scale. I can imagine then if you're telling me that they are working with a system though, the way the game plays is unique to 3 games, one of them being its sequel, is insane to me. So you have to at least meet or match, same thing. Meet it or surpass whatever that system looks like and is. And I don't know what that looks like in today's world in terms of just the engines that they have out and stuff. So the back end, there's probably a lot going on the back end to be able to recapture that same feeling, but then blow away people's expectations with the remake, because it's got to be better. You know what I mean? And it's got to at least meet what it was. And if it does that, then okay, you put out a game that tugs on people's nostalgia feels and all that good stuff. But this is also an opportunity to absolutely blow people out of the water, and you only get one shot.
Thing, though. Yeah, and here's what. Okay, well, first off, I'm worried about this. Well, I am personally a little worried because, no, I mean, yeah, definitely. I love. Look, first off, you're right. I think Sony and Lucasfilms definitely did whatever they saw must have been warranted for them to say, "Oh my God, what were we thinking to choose these people? We got to make a change immediately." Because and who's to say what they saw? They could have just probably saw, I don't know. Something so random that they were like, "Wow, this is not our vision at all."
Right.
To this company, and because and secondly, I don't know who the frick Asper Media is, and usually when you do remakes and remakes from these different kinds of games and different kinds of companies and stuff, it's usually the case. You don't know. These third party companies are the ones that are doing that actually take their time to do these kind of things. To kind of say, "Oh, we're good enough to do it" and stuff, but really, in reality, we can't who are you? For the most part, who are you to say, what have you done to be to kind of say, unless there are some that have made a footprint in doing that. I mean, look at Tribute Games, who did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and also and all these other groups. So I don't know who this Asper Media is, and then once they saw all of this, they're like, yeah, we're needing to replace all of this. So I'm worried about the company, because not only that they said that they got rid, because it's very rare for them to openly announce that they got rid of 2 directors. And this is not like these are like the top heads of a project that they were assigned to do. They lost 2 of them. They got the game director and the art director, which means that they hated both of them to get rid of them like this. And then even besides that fact, the company themselves were having issues on trying to keep up with what they were wanting to do, like on their expectations of this game. So I don't know if this was I'm a little worried about that, unless they get the right person in to be like, we need to get we need to get our crap together, and here we go. This is what we need to do. We'll do this, and this to get back on track to what we were expecting it to go. And then I'll be like, okay, I stand corrected. And then for them to assume that then when they announce that they're throwing a date, they're looking at 2025, even though on an indefinite delay on a game. We're in what year? 2022 right now, and they're talking 3 years. It's like, holy crap.
I mean there's a lot of everything. They are scrapping everything now.
Yeah, there's a lot of red flags, is what I'm saying. It's like, there's a ton of red flags. And I'm just like, and you know what? Like, and I am, you know what? I am a very patient person. If it's 2025, let it be 2025. But the thing is that, but ever since Anthem, when you see all these little small red flags, don't just turn them away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't just think about it. Just kind of read the writing a little bit on the wall on it. And they'll be like, you know what? Yeah, we may want to find another company to be a part of it or whatnot. But they have all this trouble. They announced this not that long ago. I'd say they announced this 7 months ago. That they were making there's this game is coming out. This game is coming out in the near future. They didn't announce a date, so we're like, okay, cool. But other than that, yeah, they announced this in May. That's not that long ago. It wasn't even that long ago. And I'm like, wow, okay, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm feeling very confident right now. Hopefully they prove me wrong on it, but we'll see.
And you shouldn't. They made the moves that they needed to. They clearly didn't feel confident about it either. And they said, you know what? We're going to start over. We've got to start over. We're going to get rid of the people that have been driving this. And clearly it was not the direction that they felt it should be in, or the state that they felt that it should be in, enough to the point where they're going to do a full on reset and say, game director, creative director, or whoever, you gone. We're going to find some people that are going to do this justice. And it's funny because even looking at this video, this is the original. It kind of reminds me almost of, I see that system though that you're talking about as far as the attacking and stuff like that, which is interesting. But it almost kind of reminds me a little bit of Mass Effect. It kind of has a similar feel to it.
I mean, this is technically this is the infantile state of BioWare. So this, you could essentially say, so this was when this was made 9 years before Mass Effect.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see the influence, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mass Effect could have gotten influenced by this game, essentially.
So yeah, I'm wondering too if, and maybe this was the thing, if the people are trying to use the same old system, or are they going to, and I don't mean like back end wise, the actual physical system to do it, but the same kind of like how you interact with things and do things, or are they going to update that? And maybe that was part of, because if you notice, you know what I mean, like Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Remake, they had different, there was the similarities, but there were also their differences. And I think that's what also helped it out. It brought it more to a modern day age of gaming and how you interact and do things. And I'm wondering if maybe there's a little pull and tug in terms of that. It'll be interesting. But yeah, this is one that, for me, and I'm hit or miss with remakes and stuff. There's been so many lately. It's just like, look, dude, like, are you guys just run out of ideas or what's going on over here? Because that's a little too much with that. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I mean, you never feel good about a game being suspended indefinitely. But at least they put a target year on it, and who knows what that actually means. But it sounds like they're not completely just abandoning it. They're just having to hit that reset button and say, yo, we gotta run this back, dude. We gotta get like, this ain't it.
Yeah. Well, it may be just be a little bit. It may be a little bit too early to kind of see what if they're going to like on their system and stuff. But I will say that it's probably safe to say that they currently are. I mean, it's that they're working on it. They know that it's still working, but because indefinite delay shouldn't. I don't think people should be scared of an indefinite delay. I think what that basically is saying is that they don't know when this game's coming out.
Right.
Like this game, that's all what an indefinite delay is. It's not saying that now if they say they canceled the game, that's a different story. But like I think that this game is must have been so underdeveloped that from what they were seeing on progress that they must have for them to make these moves now,
right,
that they must have something must have been needed to be done, or something definitely needed to be changed, and that's what they did. They probably just jumped on that change immediately.
Right,
is what I would suggest. So yeah, but this game is definitely good, and if you don't mind graphics, Smitty, that might be a game you should try playing on the list.
I think I might have this, and one of the many subscriptions. I think I might
definitely do that.
Yeah, have it available somewhere to be able to play. I didn't realize. For some reason, I thought it was a MMORPG, but I think I'm thinking of a different one.
There is an online RPG of Star Wars called Old Republic.
Old Republic, yes.
Yeah, okay. This is from Old Republic is from this series, Knights of the Old Republic, since it was like 3,000 years before. Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic was the first thing that they've ever created towards any of this, and then they built that whole world around it.
Oh, yeah. Hence why this is such a classic game and means so much to people.
Yeah, exactly. Now you get it. Now it's all brought together correctly. So yes, there you go. I mean, it's a definitely game. Like, dude, like this game almost made me want to buy an Xbox. Like yeah. When I was young, this is like when the original Xbox, it was either Xbox or PlayStation 2. I was even back in the day, I was very cynical on Xbox, still am, as you can tell. But like back in this was the only game that I wanted to play on that system.
Yeah.
All the other ones I really didn't care for. I didn't really care for Halo or Halo 2 or any of that nonsense. But rather I was just like, wow, this game looks really fun. And because I worked at the game store, I was able to borrow an Xbox there. And it's not like you let me borrow it. So don't put words in my mouth, is what I'm saying. Is what I'm trying to say. They said, I asked them, and they're like, yes, you can, Davis. And then they did. So there you go. You know what? I don't need y'all's approval. All right. I'm not on trial here.
It's good, dude. That's dope. Yeah. I think that's the one that, and I know people are probably pretty pumped about it, especially the fact that they announced it and then they're having to say, whoa, we're gonna go ahead and pull the reins back. You might see this in a few years.
Essentially, man.
They could have. They probably are kicking themselves in the butts, just being like, "Damn, dude, I wish we did not announce anything, so we could have just let this. This would have all been under the radar. Nobody would have even talked about it."
I mean, I'm just amazed how fast they're going with it, though. I mean, like like I said, like I thought it was a longer time, but they really didn't announce it that long ago, and I was just. And I was like, wow, okay. So they're going through all this. They got rid of 2 directors. They're showing how far behind they're already showing how far behind they are on it. Like they already made these moves to already because of all that. It's insane to me. I'm like, wow, okay. All right. Okay, so we'll do the final topic, which was going to be Lex's topic, but just I think it was a cool topic because she was going to talk about a game that's coming out from Devolver Studios called Cult of Lamb. Now this Cult of Lamb is actually a very, like she said that it was going to be that it may have been her type of game. But like because she saw how nice and cute it is, and I was like, yeah, it's a very fun game. Kind of like reminds me of They Starve, you know?
They Starve.
Not They Starve, or what's it
Oh,
called?
I know what you're talking about because I'm thinking of the
Starve
same
Together.
thing. Something. Don't starve. Don't starve.
Don't Starve. They
That's what
Starve.
it
My bad.
reminds me of. Is don't
Yeah,
starve.
yeah.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
the
that's exactly what it
movements.
is. Yeah. It's Don't Starve. So basically what it is that it's just showing you, it's basically showing that what happens is that you're a little lamb, and you're going to be killed or sacrificed or whatever, but then right before you get killed, a demon saves you or something, or the demons save you. And then when they save you, they give you the power of a of their, they give a fraction of their power for you, and then they tell you that you have to make a cult. So you make a cult of other animals and stuff like that to get stronger. So once you get strong, you can free that demon eventually.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so it's actually it's very dark. This is so what you're seeing here is what I was my playthrough of it when I went to PAX East at the Devolver Studio thing. And and they were showing all the cool stuff of it. And so what's cool about it is that it's basically, like I said, it's like Don't Starve. It's you have to you have to get materials, you have to fight the people that are trying to kill you, and then you also need to recruit people. Once you get while you're recruiting, you get to a point where you can get strong enough where you're fighting bigger monsters, and you get more powerful and more powerful. And then you're also been doing crazy stuff like rituals and things like that, weird stuff. And they have their own weird animal language. I don't know if you can hear them, but for the most part, it's a very, looks like a very cutesy game. But then when you really think about like the undertones of what's happening, what's happening here, because you also need to make sacrifices too. And yeah, so but it is it's actually very crazy though. I was just like, wow, okay, so you just go crazy on just killing things, and then also picking up resources to improve your own personal village and stuff like that. It's very yeah, it's very cool. But the style of it, the style and the animation of it's very it's like a 2D plane. It's a 3D on the 2D character on the 3D plane,
Yeah, I see that.
which is really cool. So like, no, I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I think I think my playthrough wasn't that big, but it was like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, they even got a
And I was
count. They even got a countdown on it.
They do?
Yeah, there's totally a timer. It says work in progress gameplay, and there's a countdown next to that at the bottom of the screen. So like,
Oh, I didn't
you
see
have
that.
like 20 minutes to get as far as you can. Is that what it was?
Well, no, yeah, well, they gave me a build, and then I finished, well, like I finished their build that they gave me to the length of it.
Mm-hmm.
But they like, so I got, so I time didn't run out for me. I
Oh,
was just
okay.
able to get everything. Yeah, I didn't know there was a countdown. I
Yeah,
was just
this looks like a fun little game. Again, I love what Devolver does. They always, I feel like they really put together some unique games, and I like that. I mean, instantly when I saw it, I instantly thought of Don't Starve, with the
Mhm.
movements and all that stuff. But yeah, dude, I mean, this sounds like something that would be fun. I mean, the theme wise, I don't know, obviously, like not necessarily for kids, but
Mhm.
I think this is an easy enough game to, especially games like this, like for an introductory game for somebody to come into. We're about to head into the fall here soon, so any kind of the spooks and the demons and all that stuff, people are going to be about that. Do you know when this game releases?
Yeah, it comes out August 11th, so it's next week.
Oh snap! Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and like I would suggest, to be honest with you, these games are not like are hella expensive. That's what I love about Devolver. Devolver makes
Right.
really good games for like a really, like good price, for good prices, and
Yeah.
then it's always all these small cool things. So yeah, I would definitely, this game doesn't give a price. You know what? Let's find out how much the price is for
Cult
Lamb.
of the Lamb. That is so
Cost
crazy.
yeah, see, $24.99. Not even that bad.
$25. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at
Yeah,
all.
Yeah, and it's a fairly good sized game though, so you can definitely check out the check it out. What's what, when you really think about it, it's like the level of characters, like not the studios that Microsoft has bought.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes me sad to see that this game is not going to be on a console other than maybe Switch. Like I think it would be a perfect game to play on the PS5.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think we will ever see that. But like the game itself though overall is really really cool. So I know I definitely would suggest anyone to try this one out.
That's crazy. So you're saying it's just going to be on PC and maybe Switch?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be on PC, Switch, and Xbox.
Oh, I see. So you're just saying you don't think it'll ever go to PlayStation at all?
I don't know, because I mean, the last Devolver game. When was the last Devolver game that went on the PlayStation?
I mean, you said this is. I'd have to look. Isn't that Pedro game is not on there? My something Pedro. I think that's the only one I could think of. Son of a gun.
Oh, that was from yesterday. Yeah, the whole thing. Well, no, because the whole biggest issue I had with it was yeah, I mean, okay, so Shadow Warrior 3, I believe, was that no, Shadow Warrior 3 wasn't Devolver, I don't think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but anyways, I don't know. I assumed that that this won't be on the all consoles. I might be wrong. Let's see. Maybe I am wrong.
It's called Cult of the Lamb. Is what it is. A Devolver game. It comes out next week on the 11th. But very much, I mean, even look at these like animations and some of that stuff. It totally reminds me of Don't Starve, just with a lamb.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like that art style very much. So you're saying then that you have that there's building and crafting in this as well, right?
Yeah, there's building and crafting. Like, so right now, like I have to get certain amounts of like materials to make certain things, like like food or a bathroom and like bathroom area, and and build it for the the person that I saved, because he's the one person. He's one of the cultists that's going to be following me now throughout the game. And now, so like, so now I have to do stuff to help him out, as well as he's going to help me out eventually, So gotta find a spot to build it, and then once I do, then I just got to go to other areas to make it bigger and bigger, and make my location bigger and bigger. It's really cool.
So this is just basically Cult Simulator.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, it is what it is. Like you kill people, and you also you're building your army, essentially. Food and food storage. Yeah, so that's great. It's very cool. Oh, I am wrong. It's going to be on PS5. Okay.
There you go. There it is.
Well, yeah.
I was like, it wouldn't make sense for them not to throw it on every console. Yeah, no.
This is a perfect Steam Deck game too.
This would be, yeah. Like I could totally see myself playing this on a handheld. But I mean, I would play it on anything just to mess around and see what it's about. It looks interesting enough. Art style's cool. It looks pretty simple. It's got things in there I like crafting and building and those kinds of things.
If you skip ahead a little bit, you'll see some of the fights that are there. But for the most part though, like it's really not that it's not that complicated. It's just simple as that. I don't know how long this game is, but I can easily see that. And this is definitely a game I think would be up for Lex. Lex would love.
Oh yeah,
love too. So yeah, I can easily see this is definitely up her alley when it comes to this. So yeah, but but this comes out next week. You should definitely check it out. $24.99 from the most part, and see what's going to go on. Oh, what is wait. I
have to check that out, man.
Put it more on your list of games
that I'm never gonna get.
Never gonna get. Yeah, how it normally goes.
unless it's in like some sort of bundle or something like that. I don't know that I would drop $25 on it personally. I've already got too much stuff, but I like the concept, and it seems, and of course the art style and stuff like that. It looks like it's a lot of fun. But this looks like a game that anybody could just pick up. You can play for a little bit or whatever, and then come back to it later or whatever. I don't know. You played it, so I don't know, but if there's that ongoing urge to like, you know what, I got to get back to this Colton and get my Colt going.
I got get back to my Colton. That's how you describe your life work. Yeah, my Colton is coming.
That's right.
Oh my God, that'd be freaking hilarious. Okay, but yeah, folks, this was episode 143 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again next Friday. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly okay. We will be back. We will release this episode on Monday at the beginning of each week, each and every week, except last week. But we're gonna actually have a special 2-week episode release of this following Monday. But it's usually each and every Monday of every week that we like to release our podcast. So there's absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices.
Ooh.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. And be sure to also check out on our website, confreaksgeeks.com, where we have a lot of awesome content. This week we just released our interview with Mila Lee. So you should definitely see how awesome of a voice actor she is there. But in the meantime, once again, this is Davis and Smitty signing off. Y'all, take it easy.